Okay, so think about this for a sec. How do you see yourself like actually connecting with your favorite brands way down the line? Like beyond just websites and apps? Anything come to mind?
Well, something a little more, how do I put it, immersive.
Yeah, immersive. Exactly.
That's actually a really good segue into what we're diving deep into today.
Oh, perfect.
It's the
A
metaverse.
metaverse. We hear that word everywhere these days.
Right. But it's not just some flashy tech buzzword.
No.
All the stuff we've been looking at makes it crystal clear. This is going to be a huge shift
Big shift.
in how you, the customer, experience brands.
Hmm.
So we've been going through a whole bunch of sources, really trying to get a handle on how these crazy interconnected virtual worlds are, like changing those interactions.
Yeah. It's a lot to untack.
It is. And today, our mission, should we choose to accept it,
I think we should.
is to pull out the really important stuff, the key insights, into how businesses are using the metaverse right now
Mm-hmm.
and how they're going to be using it down the line.
Yeah.
Connect with customers, turn them into loyal fans, and just keep them engaged.
Mm-hmm.
We're aiming for practical stuff here, real-world applications.
I like it.
And we'll definitely peek into the future and see what might be coming
Crystal ball time.
a little bit. And we're tailoring all of this for someone like you, who's obviously interested in this next wave of digital interaction,
Yeah.
but doesn't want to get bogged down in the techie jargon.
No, thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Keep it simple for us.
Exactly. So,
Okay, so walk me through this. Like, what are the big things we're going to be exploring today in this deep dive?
okay, so first up, we're going to look at how the whole customer experience thing is evolving
Hmm.
now that the metaverse is here.
Right.
We'll compare and contrast it with what you're already used to, what you see out there.
Yeah.
Then we'll roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty.
Uh-huh.
How like virtual reality, that's VR for you cool kids,
VR. Got it.
which basically creates these fully immersive digital worlds.
Whoa.
And then there's augmented reality, or AR,
Oh, AR. Okay.
which kind of overlays digital stuff onto our real world.
Okay.
So we'll see how those are being used in places like retail, stores, and customer service.
Makes sense?
And finally, we'll chat about some of the potential bumps in the road.
Oh, there's always bumps.
Always, right? But also the super exciting opportunities that are popping up in this virtual world.
I like it. Challenges and opportunities. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's kick things off with the big picture, right?
Big picture, yeah.
The metaverse.
Yeah.
And how it's like changing like the core of the customer experience.
Right.
We're all used to clicking on websites, tapping away on apps, maybe even, going to an actual physical store.
Right.
So how does the metaverse like fundamentally change all of that interaction?
Well, what's really interesting here is it's like moving from a flat world.
A flat world.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, what's often been a two-dimensional experience on our screens to something that's completely three-dimensional.
Whoa, that's trippy.
Right. So a lot of our sources talk about this idea of like immersive brand storytelling.
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So instead of just, reading about a brand's history online
Huh?
or scrolling through their product descriptions,
Hmm.
right, imagine actually stepping into a virtual world
Like, whoa.
that's been specifically created by that brand,
Oh, yeah.
where you can actually experience their story, like firsthand.
That's pretty cool.
It is. It's about going way deeper, getting a much more visceral connection to what the brand stands for.
So it's not just reading facts on a page, it's like feeling it.
Exactly. It's a feeling.
Yeah, I dig it.
Absolutely.
It definitely sounds a lot more powerful than just like reading an About Us page.
Right. Way more impactful.
Yeah. It's like stepping into the story, not just reading it.
Right. And it's not just some passive thing either.
Oh, good.
Our research really highlights this idea of real-time interaction as a key difference between this and, your typical e-commerce.
So it's not just me like in this world by myself.
No, not at all. It's not just about browsing and clicking.
Okay.
It's about actively engaging.
I like that.
So picture this. You could be talking to a virtual salesperson.
What?
Yeah. And they're represented by an avatar,
An
right?
avatar. Okay.
And they can actually see you, respond to you, all in real time.
Whoa. So it's like a real person.
It's like a real person, but digital.
That's wild.
Or you might even be talking with other customers who are hanging out in the same virtual space.
That's cool.
So it's like bringing back that feeling of immediate personalized attention that you just don't always get online.
Yeah, because sometimes like online shopping can feel kind of impersonal.
Very transactional.
Yeah.
This is the opposite of that,
I like it. So it's adding like a human touch,
that human touch, yet,
even though it's digital.
even though it's digital. And, a lot of what we've been looking at also talks about gamification.
Gamification. Okay, so like making it fun, like a game.
Exactly. And community building. So
Community building, got it.
how do those fit into this whole customer experience thing?
Yeah, good question.
So think about all those game-like elements. We all love challenges, rewards, interactive stuff.
I mean, games are fun, so yeah.
Right. So brands are starting to use those things inside their virtual worlds.
Right.
They're also doing things like, virtual events and loyalty programs
Makes sense.
that really foster this sense of community
Uh-huh.
among their customers.
Oh, so you're not just shopping there, you're like hanging out.
You're hanging out. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that could be huge for keeping customers coming back,
Makes sense.
right? When they feel connected, not just to the brand,
Yeah.
but to each other.
To each other. It's like
You're part of the club.
you're part of the club.
I like it.
So it turns brand interaction into something you actually want to do instead of it just being a transaction. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting it. This is good stuff. All right. So let's dive into those technologies you mentioned before.
Yeah.
VR and AR.
VR and AR.
How are those actually being used to make the customer experience better?
Well, they're really the engines that make this whole immersive thing possible.
Okay.
It's like they're building bridges between, the online world and the real world.
Cool.
So let's tackle retail and e-commerce first.
Okay.
There's this big buzz around virtual showrooms.
Virtual showrooms. Yeah, I've heard of those.
A lot of the stuff we read points to big companies like Nike, Gucci, IKEA.
The big players.
Yeah, they're pouring money into creating these virtual spaces.
Interesting.
So imagine this. You can walk through a virtual store,
Whoa.
check out products from every angle, see the details, the size.
Like you're actually there.
Like you're actually there.
Crazy.
And get this, some of the research shows that people who shop in these early virtual showrooms, they're actually spending more on average
Really?
than people who just shop online the regular way.
So it's not just a gimmick.
Not just a gimmick at all.
It's actually working.
It's working. That spatial presence, being able to be in the store, it really influences how people buy things.
Wow. That's a powerful statistic.
It is.
To show it's more than just like something new and shiny,
Right.
It's actually changing things.
It's changing the game.
Mhm.
And then there's, AR try-ons.
Yeah, those are cool. I've played with those before.
Have you? So with those, you can use your phone or tablet
Right.
to basically overlay a digital version of a product, right onto your real-world view.
Right.
So you can try on glasses virtually or see how that new sofa would actually look in your living room.
It's super helpful.
Right. And it all happens through your device's screen.
Yeah,
And that takes a lot of the guesswork out of online shopping
makes sense.
because you can really see it, visualize it, and make a better decision.
Exactly. It gets rid of that whole, will this actually look good on me question.
Or in your space.
Yeah. Yeah. No more buyer's remorse.
Exactly. And, our research also talked about this whole thing with 3D avatars
Oh, yeah. The avatars.
and digital goods.
Okay, that's a new one. What are digital goods?
So this is really interesting. Like fashion brands,
Okay.
they're starting to create digital clothes and accessories.
What? Like clothes for your avatar?
Clothes for your avatar.
That's so cool.
Right. And you can buy them to customize your little digital self.
So your online persona can have its own style.
Exactly. And it's not just about looking good.
No.
It's like a new way to express yourself online.
Interesting.
And it's also, a whole new way for brands to make money
Oh, okay.
as people invest in their digital identities.
Because you'd want your avatar to look awesome, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where those NFTs come in.
NFTs. Okay, yeah.
Remember those? The non-fungible tokens.
Yeah, those unique digital things.
They let you actually own those digital goods.
So your virtual clothes are like one of a kind.
One of a kind.
That's
and
pretty
it's-
cool.
Right. So your online persona can have its own style, its own wardrobe,
Like a virtual fashion show.
a virtual fashion show.
Yeah.
And those items can be like collector's items.
I like it. It's a whole new world of like digital consumerism.
It is. It's fascinating.
It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
I know, right?
Okay, so shifting gears a little here.
Okay.
How is the metaverse changing, like the whole customer service and support world?
Oh, that's another area that's going to be totally transformed.
Yeah, how so?
A lot of what we've read points to the potential of AI-powered virtual assistants.
Okay, AI, always a hot topic.
So instead of just chatting with a boring old chatbot,
Right, those are so impersonal.
imagine talking to a lifelike avatar
Okay.
who can understand your questions
Uh-huh.
and actually help you out. right there in the virtual world.
So it's like a chatbot, but like way better.
Way better. It feels more human,
I like that.
right? Even though it's AI.
It's the best of both worlds.
The best of both worlds.
Okay, and I remember reading something about VR troubleshooting and demonstrations.
Yes.
That sounds super useful, especially for like complicated products.
Absolutely. So if you've got like a tricky gadget that's giving you trouble,
Right.
forget those clunky manuals.
Like, please.
With VR, you could step into a virtual environment
Okay.
and it'll walk you through everything step by step,
So it's like showing you what to do.
showing you exactly what to do.
Well, that's awesome.
And some experts think this could really cut down on those annoying support calls.
Makes sense. You don't have to call if you can figure it out yourself.
Exactly. And it makes customers happier because they get the help they need in a way that actually works for them.
So it's more efficient and more satisfying. I'm sold.
Right.
Yeah.
And, if you need more personalized help,
Huh?
our research also mentioned live customer support.
Okay.
But this time, it's happening right there in the virtual space.
Oh, okay.
So imagine you're browsing a virtual store
Right.
and you need some help.
Right.
Well, a real-life customer service rep,
Oh, a real person.
a real person.
Cool.
But they're also represented by an avatar, of course.
Makes sense.
They can come right up to you and give you personalized help, like a super fancy concierge.
Wow, that's next level.
It is.
Oh.
It's like having your own personal shopping assistant, but in the metaverse.
So it seems like brands are really going all in on creating these like super engaging and exclusive experiences in the metaverse.
They are.
I read about exclusive virtual experiences for loyal customers.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
It is. It could be anything, like early access to new product launches
Okay.
or special behind-the-scenes events,
Cool.
VIP content
Yeah.
that only loyal customers get to see.
That's awesome. So you feel like you're part of like a special group.
Exactly. Like a VIP club. And then you've got the whole NFTs and digital collectibles thing, which we touched on earlier.
Right.
So that's another way to like reward loyal customers.
Oh.
Give them unique digital stuff that actually has value. And it makes them feel like they really belong.
So it's not your typical loyalty points system.
No, it's way more exciting than that.
Yeah. You get cool stuff to show off.
Exactly. Bragging rights. And then there's community-driven experiences, which I think are really powerful.
Community-driven experiences.
So brands are creating these virtual spaces where customers can just hang out and connect.
Like a virtual hangout spot?
Yeah, like a virtual hangout spot.
That's neat.
And it's all built around shared interests, things they love about the brand.
Oh, so it's like a fandom space, but in the metaverse.
Exactly. And when customers feel like they're part of a community,
Yeah.
it makes them stick with the brand even more.
Oh, for sure. It's like a whole new level of brand loyalty.
A whole new level.
Yeah.
But as exciting as all this is,
Yeah.
our research also brought up some potential downsides we should talk about.
Oh, right, because it can't all be sunshine and roses.
No, it can't. It's not always a smooth ride.
So what kind of challenges are we talking about here?
Well, one big one is accessibility and the whole digital divide issue.
The digital divide, okay.
Because not everyone has access to fancy VR or AR gear.
Right.
And if you need that expensive equipment just to participate in the metaverse,
Yeah.
it creates this gap, right?
Yeah, not everyone can afford that stuff.
Exactly. And it could leave a lot of people out.
So some people would miss out.
They would. And it would limit how far these experiences can reach.
That's a good point. It's like an exclusive club that not everyone can join.
Right. So a lot of experts are saying it's really important to think about accessibility when we're developing this technology.
Make sure it's available to everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
Got it.
Another big concern is data privacy,
Oh, yeah. Data privacy is always a big deal,
especially data security.
especially these days. Yeah.
Because as we do more and more stuff online, in these virtual worlds,
Right.
all our personal data, it's all floating around out there.
Yeah. It's kind of scary to think about.
It is. So the risks of collecting all that info, storing it, keeping it safe, it all becomes even more important.
Absolutely. Companies need to be super careful about protecting people's data in these new environments.
Super careful. Absolutely.
Mhm.
And then there's the whole thing about the learning curve
Oh, yeah, that's true.
and user
Like, it's an
experience.
experience for
Because
people.
let's face it, navigating those 3D virtual worlds, it's not easy for everyone,
No, it's not.
especially if you're not a gamer
Right, exactly.
or used to VR.
It can be pretty confusing.
Confusing, overwhelming.
Yeah.
So the sources we looked at, they really emphasize making the design intuitive
Okay.
and having user-friendly tutorials, to make sure everyone can actually enjoy these virtual experiences.
You don't want people getting frustrated and giving up.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Bad user experience can really kill a good idea.
For sure.
And we can't forget about the elephant in the room,
Oh boy. Here we go.
the cost.
Money talks.
Money talks.
Hmm.
Creating these amazing metaverse experiences, it costs a lot.
I can imagine.
Like building those complex virtual environments, all the tech, the design, it's a huge investment.
Makes sense.
So yeah, the potential's huge, but there's some real-world hurdles to overcome.
It's always something.
It always is.
But, looking ahead,
Yeah.
our sources were pretty optimistic about the future of virtual customer engagement.
Oh, they definitely got me excited about what's coming. What stood out to you?
Well, one thing that really caught my eye was like the potential for even more personalized experiences.
Oh yeah, AI-enhanced personalization.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
So as AI gets smarter and smarter,
It's only a matter of time, right?
we're going to see even more dynamic, tailored interactions in the metaverse.
Okay.
So imagine a virtual store that actually changes based on like what you like.
What?
Yeah, it remembers what you've bought before, what you're interested in,
That's crazy.
and it recommends stuff just for you
So it's like personalized marketing on steroids.
on steroids. It's the next level,
That's a little bit scary, but also really cool.
right?
And then there's this idea of like different virtual worlds being connected.
Interoperable virtual worlds.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's a game changer.
So like your avatar and all your digital stuff can move between different brands' experiences.
Exactly. Imagine your digital self all decked out in your cool virtual clothes.
Right.
You can just seamlessly travel from like Nike's world to Gucci's world.
Whoa.
And everything just works.
That's wild.
It's a much smoother, more engaging experience overall.
Yeah. You're not stuck in one place.
No silos. It's all connected.
I like it. Okay, what else? What else is coming down the pipeline?
Well, our sources also talked about expanded AR integration.
Oh yeah, AR. That's the one that overlays stuff onto the real world.
Right. So as AR gets even more advanced
Uh-huh.
and integrated into our devices, think like smart glasses or even contact lenses.
Whoa, contact lenses. That's next level.
Right. We're going to see a lot more companies using it to make real-world customer interactions better.
Okay, so like imagine you're walking through a store
Yes,
and you can see extra info about the products just by looking at them.
exactly. Reviews, specs, you name it.
That's pretty awesome.
It is. Or you could even get help with the product in real time.
So like a virtual assistant pops up and says, "Hey, need some help with that."
Exactly. It's like having a digital shopping buddy with you.
I like it.
The possibilities are endless.
It's pretty mind-blowing to think about.
It is.
Okay, last but not least, I got to ask about this one.
What's that?
Virtual influencers.
Oh, yeah.
Those are like digital people, right?
Yeah. Or even AI-generated entities.
So they're not real people.
Not in the traditional sense.
Wow.
But brands are partnering with them
Really? Why?
to connect with their audience in the metaverse.
That's crazy.
It's a whole new way to do marketing and tell stories.
So like a digital celebrity endorsing a product. That's wild. So, wow, this has been a lot to process.
I know, right?
It's a whole new world out there.
It is.
But it seems like the main takeaway here is
Yeah.
the metaverse is going to completely change how we interact with brands.
For sure.
It's not just about the fancy visuals.
Or-
It's about creating like a deeper connection.
That deeper connection.
Making things more immersive, more interactive, and just more engaging overall.
Yeah. And for businesses, it's smart to get on board with this.
Yeah.
Embrace things like VR and AR. Build those awesome virtual spaces.
If you snooze, you lose. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The companies who do that, they're going to have a real advantage in the future.
So that's something for all you listeners out there to think about.
Right?
How do you see these changes affecting your relationship with brands?
No question.
Can you imagine yourself attending like a virtual product launch
Right.
or getting customer service through a VR tutorial?
Yeah. It's all coming, folks.
It's coming.
Yeah.
So here's one final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
Out of everything we talked about today, all the cool stuff, all the challenges, what do you think will have the biggest impact
The biggest impact, yeah.
on your life and on the world?
That's a tough one.
It is. But it's something to think about as these lines between the real world and the virtual world
Yeah.
start to blur,
It's definitely something to keep an eye on.
for sure. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time.
See you then.
Bye.